Good evening from the farmhouse. We've had a pretty decent day on the farm here. It's pretty chilly here today. I think the high was in the low 30s maybe, and that wind was hitting us, so it was pretty cold. But we bundled up and got outside and got some things done today, and now it is time for dinner. And then I got a shower. You got a bath, huh? The three little ones got baths. And so we are ready to eat now. And tonight, we thought we'd share our dinner with you because we are making something that's usually called, we call it Mexican chicken rice. Tonight's going to be Mexican turkey rice because we are using up the last of our Christmas turkey tonight. So whether you use chicken, turkey, or whatever type of poultry you put in this, it's a hit in our family, and I'll bet it will be a hit in your family. Right, Em? Mm-hmm. Yes. Okay, so the first part of our recipe is chicken breasts and cooked rice. I'll be doubling the recipe here, so what you're seeing us put in here might not match the amounts that I'm giving you, but I'm going to give you the amounts that is for one recipe. I would say that it's probably going to feed a family of 4, one recipe would. I don't know if you'll have leftovers, but it would feed you for that night. So the first thing that it calls for is 2 cubed chicken breasts. Like I said, I'm using leftover turkey, so I wish I had a little more turkey, but it should be just fine for tonight. It'll be all right. And then it also calls for 1.5 cups of cooked rice. So, Emily, go ahead and pour our water in. The rest of our water in. Put the lid on the pot. And we're going to get our water boiling for our rice, and then we'll get some other things ready while our rice is cooking.
That's a lot of rice.
Okay, so our rice is ready for whenever our water starts to boil then. When I am using uncooked raw poultry, I will go ahead and get it started, throw the poultry in there, throw the spices in here, and use a lid to cover it to help it to cook more evenly while the rice is cooking. Our turkey obviously is the roasted turkey from Christmas, so it's already cooked. It doesn't need to cook. I do want it to simmer with the spices for just a little bit, but it's not important that we get this cooking right this second if you're using cooked poultry. We are going to go ahead and put the turkey in here. We're going to get the spices ready to go just so we're prepared. Go ahead, Em. Go ahead and throw that turkey in the pot here.
The whole thing?
Yep, the whole thing.
Okay.
Okay, so we need 1.5 teaspoons of chili powder. Okay. You take the spoon. And we're going to dip in. Okay.
Put in?
Yep. All right, 3/4 teaspoon of paprika. 1/2 teaspoon of oregano. I don't have oregano on hand, so we're using Italian seasoning. 1/2 teaspoon of salt.
Whoa.
1/4 teaspoon of onion powder. And 1/4 teaspoon of garlic powder. And that is your seasoning packet. I usually like to add a little bit of margarine or butter to the chicken or turkey, whether it's cooked or not, just to let the give something for the seasonings to mix in with and get into the poultry really good. So we're going to do a little bit of that too. I'm going to wait a little bit and we'll get this cooking in just a little bit. All right, go ahead.
Ah.
Okay, so that is the base of our meal. It is the rice and the chicken and the seasonings. Now the recipe itself calls for everything to be thrown in together into one pot and to put that whole pot on the table. However, I think we started doing this recipe about 4 years ago maybe, and my kids were pretty little, so we had a lot of likes and dislikes at the table. Some people liked corn, some people liked tomatoes, some people didn't, and so on and so forth. So we ended up making this like a buffet style, like a make your own, and it was a huge hit. I think that's one of the main reasons, besides the fact that the seasonings are really good in the meal. The biggest reason this is a hit because the kids get to build their own plate, their own dinner, right? Kind of like building a salad or something like that. So I'm going to give you the rest of the recipe here. It also calls for 1 diced pepper, 1 cup of chopped tomatoes, 1 cup of black beans, 1 cup of frozen corn, 1 cup of shredded cheese, and then a 1/2 cup of chopped cilantro. You're supposed to blacken the corn, put that in there. Dice up the pepper, put that in there raw, and then chop up the tomatoes, warm up the black beans, mix it all together, and then set that on the table. And the cilantro if you like cilantro. But what we do is we do the rice and the seasonings and the chicken in one pot, put that on the table, and then we have separate dishes. So like tonight we'll be cutting up black olives and putting on the table that we can use in it. We are going to warm up, I'm not going to blacken it because I think it makes it too chewy, but I'm going to warm up some corn, and we're going to have that as an option. We usually do tomatoes chopped up. I don't have any tomatoes in the fridge right now. And then we'll do shredded cheddar. We will also do a couple of cans of refried beans on the side. And then we will have tortilla chips on the side. And we always do salsa and sour cream because, Emily, can we do tacos or anything Mexican without sour cream? No, that's a sin in this household, isn't it? Yes. So that's what we're going to have with our Mexican turkey rice. Okay, so our timer for the rice just went off. 20 minutes. We cooked that for. And I am just going to spoon it into our poultry seasoning mix. This has been heating up for, I don't know, maybe 5 minutes, 5 minutes. I've had this on low, just kind of getting it up to temperature, melting the butter so that the seasonings can start to mix with the poultry. So just spoon your rice in here. And you might have to add a little bit of liquid, whether you do a little bit more water or you do some more margarine or butter. Just make sure that your rice isn't sticking to this pan as you add it now. You want to make sure that there's enough moisture in this pot, in this pan, that these spices, the seasonings, can mix well with the rice and the turkey. It's turning it a really pretty color with the paprika and the chili powder in there. I mean, wasn't silly? He had underwear in there. Ooh, that's warm. Ooh, that's warm.
You want some beans?
Yes, please.
I
There's some
love
on top
that.
too.
I love that.
Yeah.
Scoop that on top.
I want some on the side too, though.
Oh yeah, for your chip.
There we go.
Can you get?
Dad wants some of that too.
Sorry.
Hey, Daddy. I want some of that too.
Oh, yeah. There you go. More handful.
I think that is.
You just can't have that great big handful. You sort it out with.
And I need them.
And there it is. That's usually what my plate looks like. We got the everything on there, really. The Mexican turkey rice, the cheese, corn, black olives, and then some refried beans, salsa, sour cream, and some chips to scoop it all up with. Bon appetit.